Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Candy Coated Secrets. I am, your hostess with the mostest, Miss Vibrations. Make sure you give me a heart and thumbs up when you get here and share the show for me. Today is Wednesday, hump day. We are halfway through the week. Look at that. Glory be to God. You made it to see another day. Make another dollar. Holla. All of that. Give me a heart and thumbs up when you get in here tonight and share the show. Share the show for me. Hey, Stephanie. How are you? How's it going? What's going on? Hey, Shanice. Hey, everybody. Hey, Benita girl. Oh, y'all here today. On time. Look at that. We all are doing better. So, share the show for me. Tag somebody or whatever. And do all that good stuff. And I say I'm not going to be long. I keep saying I'm not going to be long, but today I'm really not going to be long. So if you end up catching the show after it's all done, said and over, go ahead and make sure you type replay down in the comments. All right, so tonight I want to get into love and pain, not being able to be felt and to be felt at the same time, which is, look, shout outs to you, Stephanie. See, this is why you is on the team, okay? Let me go ahead and pin that comment. Y'all see stuff. Stephanie, look, girl, you be busy every other week. I'm going to have to make you a moderator so you can get this thing going and moderate this thing. But you guys, Stephanie pinned the website and the Cash App if you would like to make any donations, anything. If you want to support me by sending me stars as well, I'll appreciate that. Also, the anniversary is not too far away. So make sure you get your tickets for the final anniversary of, CCS. I'm super excited about that. And the book will be on its way soon. For everyone who has purchased orders, continue to purchase orders. I appreciate you guys. Everything has been shipped out. I'm just waiting to receive them so that I can send them to you. And thanks, Stephanie, the bartender, for that commercial. But yeah, so tonight's conversation is going to be about love and pain, not being able to exist and be felt at the same time, although a lot of us believe that we can. So it comes from a conversation that, I've had before. Several times come here, and you tell me what you think. Tell me why you think that, love and pain can exist at the same time. Okay, so remember, everything is all about changing your perception. Your perception is your reality. If you can think it, you can see it, and just being able to overcome a lot of, moving past a lot of limiting beliefs. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Hey, David. Also, with that, I haven't been in a group in a while, but I was able to be in a group, and I saw an interesting topic today that was posted in regards to women that want to be celibate while dating but want men to spend money. That was just some foolishness, but it was interesting. It was a great read, so I'm excited that it was a great read. I got to have a conversation with some people that I didn't get to have a conversation with in a long time to discuss that, and I was like, you know what, they're going to end up making me change my whole topic, but I'm going to stick to the topic at hand. I'm going to do my best to stick to the topic. He said, hey, Uncle D in the house. Yes. So, he said, yawn. Yeah, I know. That's how I felt about it. It's just funny. It was an interesting conversation. I'm always interested when I can see how people think and feel and things of all that nature. But, I want to get into, love is pain. I know that one time we spoke about it on the Speak Easy show, where it's though that, a lot of us believe that love is pain, and actually love is not pain. Love is not pain. You can put yourself in situations that are painful, but it doesn't have anything to do with love. And I say that because love, we'll use that, and that is like an excuse to justify why we choose to place ourselves in situations and predicaments with people. And we use love as we will use love as the side effect for staying and being in a situation that is no longer serving. Hey, Andre. Hey, Joel with the soul. That is no longer serving you. So I want to dive into that, get into it. You tell me what you think about it, what's your thoughts about it. Is love pain, or why you believe or feel that love is supposed to be painful? So if love is good and all things that are good come from love, then and love is the light. So you gotta remember, light drowns out darkness. So love is supposed to drown out and eliminate any darkness. That's why I always say I feel like, with the world today, love is the very thing that's lacking so much all the way around, because of all the chaos and pain and trauma that we're seeing that is taking on and going on today. You know what I'm saying? With the foolishness. With the foolishness that's going on here. What y'all think? Give me a 100 thumbs up if you here. So, so here it is. Love and pain can't exist at the same time because it's impossible. And the reason why I say that it's impossible for love and pain to exist in a relationship, and for you to feel them at the same time, is because, okay, you take a guess. Matter of fact, I want y'all to take a guess. Somebody take a guess. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, okay? What she say? Let me go to the comment before I just dive on it. I'm gonna give you some time to chew on that and answer it. What you think? What she say? She said, side effect. I like that. Hey, Shawnees. So, yeah, it's definitely a side effect, and I really want to dive into that because really your feelings are a side effect of something that occurred that you liked or you didn't like. Everything that we feel, it's related to a feeling, and it's feeling because we are feeling creatures. We are vibrational beings here, and that's how it comes into play. But we'll allow our circumstances, like I said, situations, persons, and experiences to make the two correlate when the two really have nothing to do with one another, and they can't be felt at the same time, So, for one, if you really feel, I know I've come across people who felt like, love and pain can exist at the same time because that is a part of a relationship. But I think that people get that mixed up with growing pains and ambivalent. You can be ambivalent about something. You can have those feelings, those mixed feelings, and be unsure and feel mixed feelings at the same time, but you can't actually feel love and pain at the same time. And that's because you were human. The body is not made to operate that way. So sometimes when I hear people say, "Oh, yes, you can," or "Yes, it does," it's like, well, explain to me why you feel that way, because your body's not made that way. Like, you cannot love and feel, you cannot feel one emotion at one time and have another emotion come at the same time and feel both of those emotions at the same time. Makes sense? Yeah, y'all understanding it? You're understanding it? And here is why, love and everything is all good. I'm trying to get over here and get my little looking at the thing right here. And because in love is all things good, you know what I mean? So when you are in a situation where if you say, well, I know that I don't believe that that's true because I love this person and this is why I'm allowing myself to sit in pain, to go through the growing issues, to go through the ups and downs in the relationship because of love or in the sake of love. But really, if you look at it from a different perspective, the reason why you are willing to go through all of these things and call it and say it's in the name of love is because you'll be able to see that love is the very thing that is missing out of the whole picture. Ooh. Did you catch that? So anytime that there's a conflict of whether love is present, what's present more in your situation, love or pain, all you have to do is step out and look at what's going on, and you have to know and understand what love is. And love is all things that are good, that is good. And God is love. You were created out of love. We were made out of love. Everything that you're given is out of love. But until you understand and know who you are completely, then of course everything is going to seem like it's either a challenge for you, or you're not able to see it, or you feel like there's a huge contradiction. But the reason why you feel like you can't see it and there's a huge contradiction is probably because you're in the midst of it. And when you are in the middle of the wilderness and in the forest, you can't see beyond the trees to get yourself out of something. So that's why it is very important to try to begin to understand and process the experiences that you are experiencing, and understanding your feelings and knowing who you are. Because when you don't know who you are and you don't stand for anything, you will fall for anything and accept anything. When in reality, if we are attracting beings, is what I say, be the energy you want to attract. If you're being the energy that you want to attract, and there's a moment where you're in a situation where all chaos and all hell is breaking loose, and everything in this is a struggle, and it's a constant battle, and everything, right? And it's a constant battle, and it's always an issue, then why aren't you able to step back out and say, wait a minute, clearly love is missing here? And they say, well, love is hard work. Love, relationship. No, it's not. Love is one of the things that comes so easily and effortlessly. You may not know how to love someone properly if you haven't seen it or if you haven't practiced it. But I tell you, as you change the things around you in your environment, and circumstances will begin to change as well. And then you will begin to adapt. Your environment will begin to adapt to you. You will become a chameleon in the midst of your environment. It's because you're only attracting what's inside of you. Ooh. Let me go to some of the comments. Hey, Daryl. Daryl said, for the record, some of these folks out here were created out of cognac and not love, but I get the overall idea. Oh, you want to show up to be one of them today, but I'm going to let you have that. I'm going to give you a little key, because that is funny. That is funny, but, in a way, it's really not funny, because there is people who really believe that. So that's why I say, like, it is scary, because now you're going to make me go even further, because a part of how you were created is what plays a part in your experiences as well. Because, in every human, in all of us, there are 13 generations of DNA. So if there's 13 generations of DNA in each and every one of us, you already have some of the side effects and all the wrongdoings, or all the misconceptions and perceived notions and limiting beliefs that you didn't even volunteer to have, because of those who came before you that made mistakes, that may have done the best that they could do, is also a result as into why you are the way you are. And if some of us were created off of, what you do say, cognac. Hold on, let me go ahead. Give me a thumbs up if you're here. If some of us were made and created off of cognac and not love, right? That's also a side effect of you being here today, not even being able to recognize what love is, or feeling that love is chaos and drama and a good time, because you were made out of chaos and drama and a good time. Woo! Let me find out Daryl is getting like Shawnice and is getting all kinds of rockets to go pew, 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 pew. So, like I said, share the show, you guys. The anniversary is approaching. I'm not going to keep y'all tonight. We already like 14 minutes in, and I'm going to have to, I got a goal here tonight to just break it at a certain time, and I'm trying to see if I can do it. You know what I mean? So, and all of those things, and that is how you end up with your kids in different situations and circumstances, and so much chaos to where, so some people are born into chaos, and they didn't ask to be born into the chaos, but they aren't even able to understand, why am I being this way, or why do I accept these certain kind of things? Because consciously I don't want these things, and I'm not accepting these things, and I know consciously I know what I don't want, but because of everything that was put and programmed into me in my subconsciousness is why it's so hard for me and difficult, and so many trials and errors are occurring in order for me to become better and do better, because a lot of the stuff that you are trying to unpack isn't even yours to begin with. Right? He's a creator of cognac, not the chaos drum and the good time. Hey Ramsey, I can't wait for your album and project to drop. I have been waiting for that for so long. She said you spitting facts tonight. I love it. Yeah, girl, you know how I get when I'm in the midst of my flow. Daryl said, love at its foundation allow acceptance. At a certain point, because of that love, folks accept more than they should at times. Yeah, we do. We accept more than what we should at times because we lack things within ourselves. You see, that is why it is important to get a foundation and get grounded with who you are, and for one, know whose you are and know what you were created to be in the representation of who you are. Because guess what? When you don't know who you are, then your girlfriend is able to show up and tell you you're a piece of crap. When you don't know who you are, the father that's trying to be a father and the mother is making it difficult, you'll begin to believe that you aren't a good father. When you don't know who you are, you will allow people to misuse, abuse, and verbally abuse you in a relationship. The very same mouth that is speaking and telling you that they love you is the same mouth that's talking to you any kind of way. So when you don't know who you are and you don't know whose you are, you will accept anything. So that's why it's important for you to get in an alignment with yourself and believe in of something, because you aren't waking yourself up. You aren't, putting lungs in your body and making them expand. You aren't putting the food on the table. Somebody gave you, there's a supplier behind everything that you have, because somebody gave you the skill to even be able to apply for the job in the first place. Somebody gave you the necessary functions for your body to be able to breathe, and you don't have to remind yourself to breathe. Your cell phone doesn't need to know that it needs to connect you to the Wi-Fi already. That's why when you go over somewhere and you done got to somebody's Wi-Fi, when you show up, it's automatically programmed. And guess what? Somebody placed that there, and it wasn't you. It wasn't you. So who's doing that? Who did that? You could go to sleep tonight knowing that you don't have to remind and tell your body to function the way that it needs to function. You don't have to tell your television to function the way it's supposed to function, because you're trusting that whoever you went and you purchased it from, or whoever created it, already created it to where, so when any issues arise, it's going to know how to be fixed. It's going to fix itself. They have a technical support team that's going to tell you how to operate it and get it to function. And once you discover and you realize that you were born and God gave you the same skills and mindset and gifts to get you through anything, to get you to overcome anything, and learn the tools to be able to overcome anything, then the TV having static is not going to mean nothing to you. Somebody telling you you're not going to amount to nothing isn't going to mean anything to you. What somebody has to say and think and feel and the opinions about you isn't even going to move you, because faith moves mountains. You understand? You have to make a choice. You have to choose to be better. You have to choose to want to be better. And a lot of times when we aren't able to hear things, or, you see TV shows or different conversations or different clothes or different, restaurants that just don't interest you, that doesn't mean that the person doesn't know how to cook, or that the show is boring, or that the book is dumb, or that the information that's being given to you is not accurate. It just means that you aren't in a place in your life where you're able to hear it. You're not even able to hear it because you're not there. But people forget that when you do look at something and when you do read something and when you are triggered by something or somebody does say something to you, it's a seed being planted that will then be watered at a different time in life when you get to the point of your path that you are able to hear the message. And when you are ready, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You know? You feel me? I'm closing in on 43. I have to send my niece occasional reminders. Oh, okay. Well, you should pray about that. What type of reminders do you send your niece? Or are you just being funny? I think you're probably just being funny. I don't even know if, Stephanie said, I don't even know if it's all that people are desperate for connection, would rather be with someone than to be alone with themselves. Yeah. It is, but it has nothing, and it's not about being, the point in that too is, yeah, you're desperate for a connection, but you gotta have a connection with yourself before you can have a connection with somebody else. So really, when you're desperate for a connection and you're trying to make sure that you have a connection or you're willing and you're accepting somebody that has placed you second and you selling to be what they call it, this side chick, goals or whatever it is, or these, whatever these goals that y'all done sat down here. I don't even know all of them. It's nothing wrong with that's why you have to give people grace, because people are in different stages of their lives. But ultimately, it's letting you see and letting you become aware of yourself that you don't think that you're worthy. Because anybody who really truly knows them and feel that they're worthy is not going to settle for anything. Especially when it's written that you can have the desires of your heart. So you can't believe that God is only going to bless you in certain areas. You got to be able to believe and understand it in all areas. It doesn't just apply to the part that you want it to apply to. So when you're trying to desperately get connections and feel connected because you don't want to be able to be alone, guess what? That's when you'll meet your person, when you know that you're okay with being alone. So what that's called is trying to fill a void. So you're trying to fill a void with outsiders instead of looking within yourself for all the answers to your questions and your prayers and everything that you need. You see, and then when you do that because you're desperately looking for a connection, and then when that person lets you down, you blaming them for the connection that's disconnected, that was never going to connect in the first place. Ooh. Okay. What do you say? Two snaps and a twist. You understand? So that's why I love to, I challenge you to think and look at yourself from a higher perspective. When you think good, you feel good, you look good, and you understand who you are. So many of us will say we understand who we are. And I can tell you out of the same mouth of somebody that's telling you that they understand who they are. Okay, well, let me see what your life look like. Because your life is going to tell anybody who you are. That's why I say, who you are speaks so loud I can't even hear you. You can show up all day long telling me that you're going to be a good employee, you're going to be a good person, you're going to be a good friend, but your work is going to show that to me. Oh, you get mad, you talk to me any kind of way. We stop speaking, you telling my business. Oh, you here at work, you didn't got comfortable. Now you just doing anything. Oh, but I'm going to change and I can be better and I'm not going to do that no more. And I learned. And it's like, okay, and then you done did it 10, 15, 30, 40, 11 times. And yet you're still sitting, thinking and believing and holding on to the mere fact of what you made up in your mind. See, and thinking that it's going to change. But at the same time, you forget that when you're trying to change for somebody else, and when you're praying for change and you're praying for someone to change, you're forgetting that the prayer is still being answered. It just may not be answered in the way that you need it to be answered. Because when you sitting here, you saying, I don't know why this just don't feel the same no more. Because you done prayed about it. Or you praying saying you want things to get better and you just need some help and some guidance and you need to know what to do. And every time you say something and you pray and you're asking out your mouth, because if you ask, it is giving. And when you ask a question and you know what you do want, you know exactly what you don't want. And every time he shows up to show you exactly why he ain't allowing the relationship, the friendship, the family ship to work, you questioning it. You questioning it. Think about it. Why are we so afraid to let go? Like, think about it. Like, I really want y'all to think about this. Give me a thumbs up. Like, I really want you to think about this. Why are we so afraid to let go? And what is it that you truly believe you would be losing? Right? And then I'm going to explain that. And then I'm getting out of here. If you remove your feelings out of the entire situation, you'll understand and you'll see that, right? People only feel how you make them feel. So when I say that is, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you feel and you believe that you aren't going to be able to move on, or you don't know what your life is going to look like without them, all of that comes from you. And what you big that person up in your mind to be. When you meet a person, you can meet a dude, you like him. In your mind, you've already planned the first date. You may have already planned what your kids are going to look like. You know, already mentally moved the dude or the woman into your house. You understand? Like, these are all the things. And then you're like, dang, you are disappointed because what you built them up to be in your mind, right? Based off of the things that they've showed you, the good and the bad. You know, especially if you're in a relationship of turmoil and chaos. It's like, if you're in a relationship of turmoil or chaos, or if you really aren't happy in the situation and circumstances that you are in, then I ask you, what is it that you feel that you're going to be missing? And take your feelings out of it. Because if you are inconsistent, if you are inconsiderate, if you are rude, if you are mean, if you are nasty, if you are disrespectful, if you are a liar, if you are a thief, why would anybody in their right frame of mind miss that? Why would you tell me why you would miss that? Other than what you made that person be. Oh, because when I met them, they weren't this way. Oh, well, you know, she didn't used to do this. Or, you know, all right, so now that they've shown you over and over who they are and what it is, what are you going to miss? And the huge answer to that is you're missing yourself. Because if you don't know, you will fall for anything. And that's why somebody can show you something and you're going to believe that they're going to get better. At what point, I think I've seen it in here in the comments, somebody said, how many times do you tell a person? I think I got to find it. It wasn't it like, how many times, Andre said, how many times do you have to tell them? Like, how many times do you got to tell a person? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Like, you know the answers to all of your questions, to all of your doubtfulness, to all of your uncertainties. You understand? You know the answer to all of that. So if this person is not making you happy, if you aren't happy in this situation, if they're talking to you any kind of way, why do you not want to leave them alone? What is it that you feel like you're going to miss? Okay, granted, you could say, oh, I'll miss seeing them. But they're not treating you right. Why won't you go ahead and let that go and go ahead and find better and be better and do better? But because you'll use love, okay, as the side effect of the effect of the defects that's affecting you anyway. And say that this is what it's supposed to be. So you tell me, where does that make sense? Love is all things good. Love is positive. With any and everything, somebody makes you mad, you're supposed to respond a certain kind of way. Somebody do something to you, and that's why it's all trial and error. It's all practice. Practice makes perfect. You have to want and choose to be better and to do better. But because of the fear of the wanting the connection, because remember, we disconnected with ourselves. That's why you're willing to hold on to any connection, right? That's why you're willing to do that. Because you don't know no better. And then if you have children in a situation, you'll say, oh, well, I want my kids to have a family. But you ain't got no family environment. Some people feel like I want my kids to have a 2-parent household. But you don't care about the effect of the energy that's being placed in your house, to where as though your children can pick up on that there's a disturbance. Because ain't nothing in your house on D&D. Okay? But it's the denial that you choose to accept and choose to think, that you believe that because your kids are 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, oh, well, let me just make it seem like because we're together. So now you put the relationship in airplane mode. Come on now. I mean, I feel like you understand. You done put your relationship on airplane mode. And when you're on airplane mode, you daggone sure don't know what's going on. You just in it in the cloud. This person may have been doing the same things to you for the last 100 years. Please tell me why you think it's going to be different in year 101, especially if you know you ain't different. But when you can finally put your foot down like Kunta Kinte, when you finally put your foot down and start standing for something, you'll be like, oh no, you can't treat me like this anymore. So that's why it is important for you to really get to know who you are and love you a little longer. Because why do we miss chaos? You're missing the very poison that is affecting you. And the side effects is hair loss, weight loss, depression, alcoholism, drugs, abuse, staying busy to avoid the void that is avoiding you. Why? Oh, the very same thing in situation that you love so much is the very same thing that is killing you at the same time. That's what it can do. Oh, well, she said she loved me. Oh, well, he said he loved me. Well, why aren't they acting loving? So so this is the love you got to give. So you have to ask yourself, why, if this person is loving me, am I accepting them putting their hands on me? Why, if this person loved me, am I accepting this? Why, if this person loves me, am I allowing their actions to make me feel like that I'm not worthy? Because you don't feel worthy. Or the ex that constantly spins the bin, which also boosts your ego, right? To make you feel like, oh, this time they done changed. Oh, it's going to work out this time. Things going to be a little different. You 30 days in, 60 days in, and you see the same little red flag. But before you seen that red flag, something and you said, don't do it. But you will say, no, I might, because you are convincing you that something is different. So if you want to know if the relationship is going to change when you get back together, or if the friend has changed when y'all reconnect, then you have to go back to you, because you are the answer to the equation. You are your resource. Have you been working on you since the separation? And if the answer is no, then that's your answer, that the relationship and you taking them back ain't going to change because you ain't working, they ain't working. How two people that ain't working feel like they going to be working? How two bums going to get together and build? How are two unemployed people that aren't putting in the work within themselves going to have a nerve to be able to sustain something. But you will be able to sustain the chaos and the drama that's familiar to you because it'll happen repeatedly and you've already done it. So you already know how it is. But your ego will speak to you and say, they want this old thing back now. Oh, they really did the work. So you'd have been with this person about 2, 3, 4, 5 years and possibly experienced him 6, 7, 8 times because y'all done broke up on and off again, on and off again. And every time y'all on and off, he ain't never just, y'all got back together and ain't never just been on. So you'll know how things are going to go because you know you better than anybody. You know you better than anybody that in the world. But when you're working and you're changing and you're growing and you're wanting to be better and you're wanting to do better, when they come back around and spin that bend, it'll be like, yeah, the sex was cool, but that's all it is. So, or, well, I appreciate the apology, but too late. Why not look at that as, oh, you spent the bend. Oh, I knew you were going to spend the bend because I knew that I was good to you. I knew how I treated you. I knew what I gave you. I knew the time, the patience, the energy. I knew the love that I poured into you. Matter of fact, I poured more love into you than I did myself. So if I was you, I would spend the bend and come get me too. I would spend the bend and come get me too. But I'm glad that you spin and you took that U-turn and you risked, getting a ticket in the no U-turn lane. But baby, I'm not the same person that you left. I'm going to have to see your work. And while you're trying to show me your work because you're saying that this is really what you want, I am dating. I may not give you 100% of my time because when I did, you wasted it. But really, you didn't waste my time. You taught me something because I should have learned something from it. And while you were wasting my time and when I separated, I was learning me. So because I learned me, guess what? That old version of me, that person that you left is no longer here. And this new me don't want you. Because why, if I'm putting in the work and I am doing the work on me, why do you spinning the bin even require you? The fact that you are familiar to me, it gives you a seat, the right to sit at the other end of my table. Because when I was hurting and nursing myself through the pain, you were absent. When I was neglecting myself or could barely take care of our children, if you had them, you understand, you weren't present. When I caught you doing something and I forgave you, you found out something about me and you turned your back on me. Why? Why should I give you an opportunity when if the roles reversed, and we hear people say that all day, oh, well, that's different. Men are this, women cheat with people that they love, and da-da-da-da. I mean, whatever excuse. It's just all of it is excuses. People are constantly trying to give and justify foolishness. I was hurting and you were the antidote. You were the solution. Because I gave you all that power. As a matter of fact, I gave you so much power from me that I don't even think I can make it and move on with life without you. And in the process of me feeling that way, you at the club, you at all the day parties, you done had 20, 11 girlfriends. Like, what? But you know what? You spent that bin. I am so grateful. I believe you've changed and I'm going to give you a shot. And then now I'm trying to figure out, and I'm feeling even worse than I did the first time because this time you came back around and spent the bin. I believe things were going to be better. That after you did something good for 2 weeks, I moved you right back in. And now I'm saying, man, if you'd have just left me alone, I wouldn't even be feeling this. No, how about if you would have just loved you, you wouldn't be feeling this. How about if you would stop making it so much easier for somebody to have access to you just because they've had access to you in the past? And when you know who you are, of course you're going to spend the bin. Why wouldn't you spend the bin? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Are you spinning the bin because you truly want to be here and drive down this road with me? Because every time we come and we hit a fork in the middle of the road and things seem, to become the inevitable, where you can't get around it, you can't go over it, and you can't go under it, and you can't go through it. Every time we get there where we got to go through it, you decide to go lay in somebody else's bed, or you decide to tell me to shut up, or saying it's the same old thing, or I can't let go of this pain, or I can't let go of this hurt. But at the same time, you've told me if I was to do this to you, you wouldn't deal with me anyway. So why am I going to keep making myself the sacrifice for this relationship when the relationship is not even worth you sacrificing or getting disciplined to be better, to treat me better, to love me better, to uplift me? You rather fill me, you rather unfill me and deplete me and drain me before you refill and fill up my cup. So that's why we were given and born with all the tools in order for us to become better. So that's why you got to open up a book. You got to know who you are. You got to get into the word. You got to understand. You got to begin to do your own research. And once you start to do your own research, I promise you, even as a man or a woman, when you leave a person alone, or when your friends turn their back on you, it ain't nothing that anybody can do with somebody who has found themselves. And just when you keep saying, oh my God, I know I'm not going to deal with this, I wouldn't deal with this, ask yourself, how many times have you done that? As a matter of fact, how many times I said, you ain't sorry yet? You keep just trying to find a different way to make it feel good. Just like that. So that's why I say love and pain, you can't feel them both at the same time. You can think about memories that you've had with them that makes you feel like, oh, the love is good, and it makes you neglect the fact that you're still in pain. But you cannot feel love and pain at the same time. That's just like if you don't like stuffing or potato salad, no matter who make it. But then you have some people that might make it and you say, I can tolerate it. I will only eat it if it's this way. See, we more picky with our food than we are with the people that we pick to be in our life. And then we forget that even your food and the person you're choosing to be in your life all starts with you picking them in the first place. So why are you able to make a better choice of picking your food, which you're wishing and knowing that you need to nurture and to, live and fuel your body, that you aren't even picky when it comes to this man that keeps giving you the same venereal diseases over and over that you keep constantly picking, or the disappointment that this woman keeps giving you, you keep picking them and picking her and taking her back and allowing her to contaminate your spirit and your body. Y'all understand? So you're more picky about the food you will digest, but you're not picky about the penis that's going to enter your body. You're not picky about the poom poom that you eating or that you running up in. But you want to be picky with your food, picky with your hygiene, picky with what you want somebody to be able to do, not to do. But when it comes to you being picky with you don't even know how to pick at all. You keep picking up the rose with the thorns on it. You keep picking up the thorns. And then don't let your friends call you with the same issue, because now you done turned into Dr. Phil and you're able to properly diagnose their situation in their relationship, all the while your shit still ain't got no diagnosis. Oop, I done cursed. You ain't got no diagnosis. Your circumstances daggone near on life support. But you trying to tell somebody else to pull the plug. Oh, and then the old ultimate, well, that's different. Is it? Because you're choosing to change the narrative. So if you don't like stuffing and you eat it, it's not going to taste good. That's just how love works. And it doesn't taste good. But you love collard greens. So you eating collard greens, you'll eat collard greens. Collard greens is something that you trust. You're going to eat the collard greens, and collard greens is going to be good to you. But when you put the collard greens and the stuffing together, something that you do like with what you don't like, and you put it in your mouth, it even tastes funny to your taste buds, and you like, I don't like it. I don't like it. That's the same thing with love and pain. Oh, I don't like it. But what you will do is take the collard greens, okay? You're going to take the collard greens, the stuffing, the potato salad. You're going to start to mix it with different foods, the curry chicken, the rice, and the cocoa bread. And you say, oh, in order for me to like it, I'm going to have to mix more of what I do like with what I don't like. And they say, oh, so how does it taste now? It's good now and it's okay. Oh, so you like things to be coated with bullcrap attached to it. So you'll rather dock something up to make it taste good for you to digest it instead of just removing what you don't like and continuing to feast and live off of what you do. But because you can use the memories, use the experiences, use the conversations, the roses, the gifts, and all of that, you take that, sprinkle it into the situation, and then you say, well, love is pain. And you can love and have pain at the same time. How can you love and have pain at the same time, but you aren't able to digest something that you don't like? I mean, make that make sense to me. Make it make sense. And before you challenge yourself to think better, to elevate, to be better, to do better, you'll rather go mix some stuff together, and the mixing that you're doing is a bunch of excuses. And say, okay, boom. Let me put all these excuses in a pot, and now this thing is going to be a little better. And you try to make it better. Why are you constantly trying to fix something that's already broken? So, like I said, if you are constantly having the same problem, then you have to look at you, because you are the solution. You have the answers. You have the solution. You have the knowledge. You just forget that you have the knowledge because you see so many things that to tell you otherwise, or because you're constantly seeing that struggle love and you feel like, oh, okay, or because you don't feel worthy enough that you allow somebody else to be able to tell you, see, this is why this is going on with you. This is why you ain't getting no better. This is why you won't experience this. This is why you can't do that. See, so many people and different things that are around you are already limiting you anyway. That you're afraid to fall down, dust it off. Okay? He said, can't send stars. Well, like I said, you can either send stars, or a Cash App. You see, good Stephanie the bartender, she put that right there. She put it right there. I pinned it in the comments. But I appreciate the fact that you wanted to try to send them, to show the support. I appreciate that. So you can do that. Or you can Cash App it. Either way. Well, I'm just saying, we have to do better. Because sometimes you get up in age, too, that you'll start to deal with something and stay in the circumstances or just continue to be with somebody that you already know you're not happy with. But I challenge you again to ask yourself, why? What is it? Ask God, what is it that's missing in me that I'm accepting this? No faith. I can tell you you're lacking faith. You're lacking trust. Your self-esteem is low. You don't feel worthy. How can you say, oh, I feel good? You know how they say, oh, I'm a bad bee or whatever. They always say, oh, I'm a bad bee. It's so many bad bees walking around dealing with stuff. Like, even when we get to see and understand that there's life and different things in these experiences, but, the celebrity world will let you see it the most. With so many people, different influencers and social media and actors and actresses where we'll get to see, them fall publicly sometimes. You know what I mean? Oh, this partner did this partner did this, and then we see them constantly may go back and forth and get back together. But even some of the people who have everything that you feel as though that you're lacking, they lacking something too, because look at what they dealing with. Or people who don't want to get divorced because they don't want to have to split some money. Oh, okay. So you're not trusting that God is going to refill anything that's taken away. Like, you're not even accepting that this situation is ending because it was in the plan for it to end. So I don't want to cut it loose because I don't believe there's something better going to be able to come. Oh, okay. So not only are you limiting yourself, you're also limiting God. Yeah. Let me get to the comments before you breaking this down. Definitely help me understand this way more. Oh, thank you. Damn, this is deep. Good grief. You just keep trying to find a way to make it feel good. Yeah. Absolutely. You understand? Because, a lot of times we don't want to believe and see that the love has been gone a long time ago. I done been with you 100 years, but I gotta keep telling you how to love me. Why? There's a problem in that. So like I said, you'll always know where your relationship is going and where it's headed by what you're doing. Are you working on you? And when you're working on you and you are trying to do better and when you are growing and you're watering you're going to grow. Okay? You have no choice but to grow. And someone else ain't even doing nothing. Or the minute you no longer are with them, or the minute they get back comfortable, you like, dang, they didn't resort to they back doing the same daggone thing. Yeah, because it was a temporary fix, because that's not who they are. That's not who they are. I say it all the time. And Ryan used to laugh at me when I say, I don't have no ill will toward anybody that I've ever been in a relationship with or anybody that I've ever encountered or dealt with, because I went from being a victim to victorious. They weren't responsible for me. I don't even say that they are bad people. I don't even say that they are bad people to be with. All of that. I always say they weren't for me. They are. What's my thing? Because Ryan used to always laugh when I say it. I'm like, they were good men for people who wanted that in a man. You see, but the qualities that I want for me and in my person and the quality of the person that I am, I can't deal with what's not that. Why? Been there and done that. Did that when I ain't know no better. Did that when I didn't love myself. But I can't do that today. Good God, that'd be taking 40 steps backwards. So I did all this growing for nothing? Oh, heck no. I refuse. So that's why I say you have to choose to want more. You have to choose to want to be better. That doesn't make your ex, and some people are just crappy people. But guess what? Your ex isn't that bad. Your ex isn't the worst person in the world. They just weren't good for you. Or even the current person that you're with. They may not want to, they may want to change. And that is what it is, because people love to fall in love and continue with potential, and false narratives and false hopes. Whatever it is, we love potential, but potential leads to disappointment. You would rather allow somebody to drag you through the mud while they're trying to become the person that they know that they can become, and then get upset when they leave you and become that for somebody else or with somebody else. Oh, I was trying to get you to do what they say. I warmed up the slot machine for somebody else to hit the jackpot. I'll be damned if somebody somebody else can hit that jackpot, because, baby, I had to spend too much. I lost $40,000 investing in you. Somebody had to hit the jackpot. Wasn't going to be me. So, yeah. If somebody left you for somebody, or if somebody is with somebody and you feel like everything is working, you tell them, yeah, I ain't better. Stay with her. Some people are able to deal with more. I'm glad that this person is able to deal with more than what the hell I can. Because, baby, you took me through the ringer. But I'm glad that you took me through that. And you have become what I knew you could be for somebody else. Because I'd have chopped your head off by now. So you got to look at things and change how you look at all of it, You got to change how you look at all of it. Every loss is not a loss. Start looking at the lesson. Start looking at the lesson of it. So once you know that the enemy is chaos, pain, and grief, and all of that, you'll do better. But you gotta want to do better, and it takes baby steps. That's why, if you judging people, we can't be judging people about the things they're choosing to deal with and accept. They not there yet. You weren't there once upon a time either. How long did it take you to get you together? How long did it take you to overcome your cheating spirit, your greediness? How many diets it took you before you finally stuck to one and you started to see the results? How many backstabbing friends did it take for you to experience before you could recognize a real one? How many times? So don't judge it because you aren't no longer there. Don't judge it because you don't understand it. You do. You choosing not to. You want to turn a blind eye and act like you don't know what's going on. Got your high beams on. You are dead in headlights. And you done already had a whole head-on collision. So, look, I done stayed over again. So, thank you guys for joining. I hope you learned something. Share the show. Like I said, if you want to donate, you can. Make sure you get your anniversary ticket. Thank you for everybody that purchased the book. This is the last anniversary, so I would love to see everybody there. I'm still accepting payment plans. You can do down payments and all of that, And either way, I'll be there, But seriously, I really hope that this was able to help someone, make you feel better, give you a better understanding, change your perspective, uplift you, encourage you, and inspire you, and let you know that you are worthy, you are worth it, you deserve everything that you want and that your heart desires. But the key to the answer is you have to know it first. So I ask you, what are you doing to know that you are worth it and that you are worthy and you are loving and you deserve it all? The possibilities are endless. Other people's opinions don't matter. And the more you grow and become into yourself and who you are, you won't be able to hear them anyway. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.